I thought it would be fun to have a little chit chat because I haven't seen y'all in about a week. So let me tell you what's been going on in our house. Hi everybody, it's Mickey. It's so good to see all you guys. It has been a week since I put a video up. I have been trying to get over this preschool plague I seem to have. It's been like 2 weeks today that I got sick, and it just seems to keep morphing into something new. So we'll see what it turns into this week. I'm really hoping it goes away. I'm kind of getting tired of being sick. So last Friday, there was that huge El Nino storm that came through. We got no snow, no rain or anything, but we got major winds. I mean, so bad that schools were canceled because of the winds. Well, unfortunately, we lost power, and we lost power for 5 days. I couldn't believe it. I mean, we are in a neighborhood that, you know, like if the butterflies fly too close to the power lines, our power goes out, but we have never lost it for 5 days. And it was like really major because it had gotten really cold in the house. I mean, we have a generator. My husband went out and bought a generator, but we still lost everything in our refrigerators and freezers, so we had to clean all those out. And we had a little light and a space heater. Some nights it was downright freezing in our house. It was like 49 degrees at the lowest, so I'm sure that really helped my cold just, you know, linger a little bit longer. We spent 2 nights in a hotel, but you know, at some point you just kind of have to get back to life. So our electricity came back on Tuesday. It came back on Tuesday. Now, mind you, 2 of my kids were home from college, and if you are the mother of a college student, you know the one thing that is their favorite thing to bring you when they come home from college, and that's laundry. So my son Dan literally had his whole wardrobe with him. He basically, the only thing that he had clean was what he was wearing, and quite frankly, that was a little questionable. So as soon as the electricity came back on, we started that washing machine, and it is still going. So I am just glad to have electricity. It really makes you appreciate your everyday things. So I'm going to be in the kitchen today, and I thought we would cook something together. Now, in the last video, I had shared with all of you the March meal planning calendar, and I was so happy that everybody seemed to be really excited about it. I think we all share, you know, the same frustration on trying to plan something new to have for dinner every day, and you feel like you're making maybe like the same 6 or 7 dishes over and over and over again. So today I thought we would make something from the calendar, and today we're going to make the Broccoli Alfredo tortellini. I'm going to add a little bit of chicken to ours. And this is a dish that you can use any pasta you have. You don't have to use tortellini. You could use regular spaghetti or rigatoni or whatever you have in your cupboard. I just happen to like tortellini, and it's not something that we have all the time, so I thought we could make it together. And what you're going to need for this recipe is 12 ounces of cheese tortellini. You can also use the refrigerated fresh kind of tortellini. I have always used Barilla. I like it because it's always been consistent for me, and I like to buy things, you know, in advance and keep them in my pantry. You're going to need between like 4 or 6 cups of broccoli, depending on your family's taste. You will need 3 tablespoons of butter, half of an onion chopped, 3 cloves of garlic. I like to use my garlic press with this to get them really minced up well. About 2.5–3 tablespoons of flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of red hot pepper, some salt and pepper, and a pinch of nutmeg. You will also need about 2 cups of whole milk and a heaping cup of Italian cheeses. So here on my stove, I have my large saucepan out to make my cheese sauce. And then I have a large pot I'm going to start to boil for the tortellini and for the broccoli. What I do the last couple minutes As my tortellini is boiling, I toss in my chopped broccoli and then I drain it all together, and that just seems to cook the broccoli just the right amount, and it saves you from having to dirty another pan. And to this pan here, I'm going to put in my butter and get that melted so that I can start sauteing my onions and garlic. So as my butter starts to melt, I am going to add the onions and the garlic and get those sauteing. So once your onions and garlic are looking nice and translucent, you're going to want to add your tablespoons of flour. And you're going to want to cook that around a little bit just to get that flour taste out of it. And you'll see that it'll make a little roux mixed there with your, with the butter and the onions. So once it starts to look about that point, you want to turn your heat down and take your 2 cups of milk and very slowly add that to your pan. And you can get a whisk and just start blending that. Once you've added all the milk, you can go ahead and turn the heat up just a little bit on your pan to help it thicken up. And as you see your sauce start to thicken, you can go ahead and add your seasonings. And then you can add your cheese. So once it's all started melted, you can go ahead and remove from the heat and just keep it on your stove until your tortellini and broccoli are done. So I went ahead and let my tortellini boil for about 7 minutes now, and I'm going to add my broccoli. And I just do that, by hand, just put handfuls in, and then once it's all in, just mix it around and let it continue to cook for, I guess, about another 4 minutes, and then you're going to drain everything together. So I have turned the heat back on my cheese sauce, and as you can see, it got pretty thick, so I'm just going to add a little splash more of milk, and then I'm going to add my tortellini and broccoli. At this point, all you do is mix everything around, and you're pretty much done. So this is our broccoli tortellini Alfredo, which is on our March meal plan for Tuesday, March 13th. I hope you will give it a try, and if you do, let me know how your family likes it. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today in my kitchen. It has been fun to get back to a little bit of normal after a crazy week that we had. When you experience something as simple as just losing power, it really does make you appreciate those little simple things in life that sometimes we just take for granted and don't give it maybe the appreciation that we should. So I would love for all of you guys to leave me in the comments below a simple thing that you are grateful for. And I'm not talking about the big things like our families and our children and our parents and things like that. I mean the little simple things. For me, the thing that I was most grateful for in this past week was the gift of time, of uninterrupted time with my 2 kids that were home from school. Although we didn't have power or TV, it was also great because we did not have that distraction. We laughed, we talked about everything, we played a bunch of games of Scrabble, by candlelight, and it was just fun. I think it was more intense time that we may not have gotten the chance to spend together. So to me, that was a true gift, and I'm so grateful for. So that is the thing that I am most grateful for. So I hope you will take a minute to subscribe on down below. I am looking forward to getting back onto my regular filming schedule. I have a lot of great videos planned with this upcoming spring cleaning season that is going to be upon us before we know it. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, and I will see you again soon. Bye!